Here's Naismith, nutmegs a Notts County man and feeds with the outside of his boot. Kyle Bennett, who's bundled over, wins a free kick.
Every day.
There's a through ball to Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe's onside. The flag stayed down. Jamal Lowe, nonchalant, fantastic, brilliant.
There's nothing I feel, and I know that my heart will.
And there is the full-time whistle. Portsmouth Football Club are promoted to League One. It's taken 4 long years. There's been heartbreak, there's been devastation, but now there's joy, there's pride. Pompey are promoted, and as Blues fans swarm onto the pitch, Pompey will be playing in League One next season. What a moment for these fans.
In Fratton Park and the boys are having fun. Well, football time, get the time, get the time. Pompey, here we come. Cause we got a team, know what I mean. We'll follow them till the end. Roar, roar, that's what we're for. Down to the Fratton end. Cause Pompey, 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 you're the team. Pompey, 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 you're the cream. Pompey, you're the greatest, and we'll keep following you. Yeah, we'll keep following Pompey, following the boys in blue. We'll keep following Pompey, following the boys in blue.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening, and welcome to the penultimate Pompey podcast of the season, brought to you by Pompey Memes with myself, Sam and Chiv. We've done it. We're finally there, fan-owned, cook-managed. We have been promoted from the 4th tier of English football to League One. Of course, that's on the agenda, as well as our last game against Cambridge, and we're delighted to be introducing a brand new feature called the Pompey Songs of Praise, which we're very excited to share with you. But as always, let's go and listen back to some highlights from the game at Meadow Lane.
Good ball for Doyle, who's come through with Naismith now in the penalty area. A couple of step overs. Naismith, he's been tripped. Penalty to Portsmouth.
I'm too scared to look.
Responsibility falls to Gareth Evans, who slides it into the net and steams away to those Pompey fans. He punches the air into light. Here is Cal Naismith. Ender Stevens now. Jamal Lowe's there in support. Here is Jamal Lowe onto his right. Fires a shot. Jamal Lowe! Oh, fantastic! In front of those 4,000 Pompey fans, Jamal Lowe has scored his second Pompey goal. There's a through ball to Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe's onside. The flag stayed down. Jamal Lowe! Nonchalant! Fantastic! Brilliant! Pompey will be promoted at this rate, and it's a second for Jamal Lowe, a third for Pompey, and that surely wraps things up here in Nottingham. And there is the full-time whistle. Portsmouth Football Club are promoted to League One.
So Sam, at long last, we're promoted. How do you feel?
It still hasn't sunk in at the moment. The week after, or the days after, I was feeling very drained, and that sounds quite negative, but the reason I was feeling drained, because you and me especially, and there's going to be other Pompey fans that relate to this, but the time, the effort and the money that we've spent going to all of the games this season, whether they be at home or away, just the distance travelled, it takes it out of you. And there has been a fair amount of negativity at Fratton Park that we've had to ride this season, because you and me haven't ever thought, oh, that's awful, but we've been surrounded by those people that sometimes do create a negative atmosphere, and you do have to ride it, and you do have to, turn the other cheek to it. And after all that, after all the months, and not just the months this season, but the whole 4 years of being down in League Two, it's just drained me, and it was really emotional, not after the game, but the days after the game, when I was sat at home, because I had the week off work, I had that luxury, but now it still hasn't sunk in, and I don't think it will until the fixture list for League One comes out.
No, it's been an amazing week. Really, really emotional day and a really emotional week. I mean, we made a a clip, didn't we, of the low goal to Titanic music, which you heard at the start of the podcast. That honestly made me well up, like making it. It's just such an amazing achievement. It's been a fantastic week. I haven't been able to stop smiling all week. It's been that good. I'm even happier than when we won the FA Cup. Like, the FA Cup was a big thing for the club, but for me on a personal level as a supporter, I know everyone's different, but for me on a personal level, this meant more to me.
See, I do disagree with you. I can understand your argument, obviously being a fan-owned club getting out the fourth tier, but there are, as you say, other fans that will disagree with you, and I do disagree. I do think the FA Cup win is bigger than this, but it's just because this has been a struggle that it is so much. And personally, I don't remember much of the game. All I remember is Evans putting a penalty away, and at another point looking up and seeing Jamal Lowe through on goal to get that third one. I don't think anyone that I've spoken to actually remembers seeing Doyle take that free kick quickly.
No, I don't. I was looking at my phone waiting for the Luton result to finish, because the day panned out so perfectly for us in the fact that, I mean, it's obviously not ideal that Notts County skipper done his knee ligaments. You know, obviously that's nothing to be pleased about. But that injury allowed the stoppage time, which meant that we finished later than Luton. So by the time the Luton result had filtered through to us, we had a couple of minutes left to play. When I suddenly realised, I saw on my phone that it was full time at Luton. We were 3-1 up at that point, and I just remember sort of going into shock and not. Just realised suddenly then, for the first time this season, of course, we just realised we're up. We've done it. We're up. And that feeling was just overwhelming. I didn't do anything. I don't think I even celebrated properly when the final whistle went. And
if you told me the Thursday before the Plymouth match that we would be promoted on the Monday, I wouldn't have believed you.
No, I didn't think it was going to come this soon, but I'm certainly not going to be negative or concerned about that. I'm happy. Before the game I was saying, look, I don't care whether we do. I know a lot of fans wanted to do it at Fratton Park, and I can see why they say that, because more of our fans can see it, but I just wanted us to wrap it up as soon as possible, because it'd been on my mind, as I'm sure most of the Pompey fans listening, just on my mind 24/7 for the last few months. So I just wanted us to wrap it up, but having wrapped it up now, what a feeling.
Paraphrasing Ian McInnes, if you can't do it at Fratton Park, then the home of the oldest Football League club isn't a bad second option.
No, and the club were really good. I'm hearing that they contacted us before the game and asked us what music we wanted, should we get promoted. I mean, what an amazing gesture. How many teams would have done that? I thought they were superb hosts.
Other than the stewards, I completely agree with you, because obviously you had to dodge the stewards to get onto the pitch, and once we were on there, it was an awful pitch.
Yeah, it's boggy, wasn't it? Very wet. Not a lot from the stands, it looked like quite a decent surface, but when you actually got on the pitch, it was pretty muddy, wasn't it? Pretty boggy.
It ruined my trainers.
And you took your time out to tweet the chairman, didn't you, of Notts County, ask him to replace your trainers, and he said he would in exchange for a new pitch. So are you going to be sending him the money for a new pitch? Was it 2 million for a new pitch?
No, I bought some evergreen seeds that I've already posted to him.
I'm sure he's really grateful.
But going back to the game itself, we actually saw Stanley Obora came on, but obviously he came on just after the third goal had gone in, so there was such mayhem in the crowd. I don't actually remember him doing anything, but it was nice for him as well to get his Pompey debut at his former club. That must have been fairly weird.
He'd been waiting quite a while to come on, hadn't he? I remember him being on the sideline for, it may have been up to about 10 minutes, like hovering. I think Cook was going to bring him on to waste a bit of time, I think. He'd been hovering for a long time on the sidelines to come on. But it was good for him to get a debut at the home of his old club. So
it was a weird away day all in all, wasn't it? Because usually we all travelled together. There were 5 of us in total, but 3 went up in the car. You were already there with your family, and I came across from Peterborough because I was staying at my family at the time. So it was a really weird away day. We were all there at different times. I was in the pub early, about 10 o'clock. You were with your family. They all arrived about an hour or so before kick-off, but we all eventually met up at the ground outside. But it's just so different to any away day that we've done before.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Brought my daughter along because of the amount of tickets we could get. Managed to get her a ticket. She doesn't do games that often. She's only 5. But she came along and she was so excited, like so ridiculously excited to come along to the game. She sung the whole game, was in tears after the first goal. I don't blame her, to be honest. It was limbs a lot, wasn't it, up at the top of that stand? We were right in the back row, weren't we?
Yeah, they kept
Right
the back 2 rows empty for sort of overspill, but we sort of buggered off there about 10 minutes before kick-off, after we distributed the ticker tape, which looked amazing.
Yeah, the ticker tape. Obviously, the subject of ticker tape was lost because of the promotion, but I did see a video of it all, and there was a lot of it. It looked amazing, brilliant.
Could have been more for 4,500, but we'll let you all make that up at Mansfield.
Overall, though, what a fantastic day. I couldn't have wished for a better day. I'm never, ever going to forget that day. The fact that we all celebrated it together as mates on the pitch. I had a family member with me. Your dad was there as well. It was just amazing. It was fantastic.
You can tell all the Pompey fans on social media that went to the game, because there's so many display pictures and Twitter banners that have changed to pictures of them and their mates on the pitch, them with players, but also pictures with Pompey players after the game in the victory bar after they had their shant up on the coach on the way down. Saw some videos of that.
Yeah, that was brilliant, didn't it? So they had to stop at the co-op on the way back because they ran out of beer. It looked amazing, and what was so good was that the coaching team were joining in as well. So I saw Paul Cook sing along to his own song. I don't really remember ever seeing stuff like that. Normally the managers disappear, don't they, into the background. They leave the players to it. But the coaching staff were getting well involved. And then that grew. So when they got back to Fratton Park, there were hundreds of fans waiting for them. And then the fans joined in with the players and the coaching staff. And I truly believe that was a unique thing. You didn't see that with Plymouth, didn't see that with Doncaster. That's a unique thing to our club. That shows the togetherness of our club.
And two of my most favourite videos of the night, one of them actually came from one of the players that was on the coach, and it was Stanley Obora. They were all singing the "We've Got Roberts, Gary Roberts," but he didn't know the lyrics after that, so we just kind of hummed the rest of the tune, and I think a couple of Pompey fans actually pointed that out to him in his mentions. But my second favourite video was when we were all in front of the director's box on the pitch, and we're trying to get the Pompey players to sing songs with us, and some of them didn't, but then Gary Roberts was down speaking to his family, and then we started singing, "Gary, give us a song, Gary, Gary, give us a song," and it went deadly silent, and he turned and just went, "Jamal Low," and the scenes from that, just, you can't make stuff up. Just those memories, you just hold on to them forever.
I would have loved to have been in the victory bar when the players got back to Fratton, but unfortunately we were both still driving back at the time, so I was never going to make it. But the scenes looked unbelievable, really, really good. Great party, fans and players joining in together, having a beer. Christian Burgess, I hear he was down in beers, egged on like a stag do. Chug, 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 chug.
That might
Brilliant.
be why he didn't play this weekend. He must still be recovering.
Crossed my mind.
I came across a couple of players on the pitch, Tom Davis, Carl Bennett, and I will never get over this moment. But when I ran on the pitch, I got to the other end after dodging all the stewards, in amongst all the pans. I had an arm round my neck, and I looked to my left, Gareth Evans.
Your man crush.
It was my man, Gareth Evans. And I put my arm around him, I was hugging him, and then I was fumbling, trying to get my phone out, but he buggered off before I could do anything. I was heartbroken, and then Carl Bennett came along. He's changed my opinion.
You didn't like him at the start of the season, did you? But
I did not.
it was an
Memories to
amazing
last
day.
a lifetime.
Yes, an amazing day, and it's definitely going to go down in my memory as one of my all-time favourite games, without a question. Amazing.
And hopefully plenty more promotions to come. I think, personally, we'll be better off in League One, the type of football that we play.
Let's hope. I'd love another day like that.
Fingers crossed. Should we go to the quiz?
Yeah, let's go to that.
The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv.
Okay, so this week for the Pompey quiz, we're joined by Chris. Hi, Chris.
You alright, Ian?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, you feeling confident?
I think so. Yeah, should have it.
Okay, well, let's see how you get on. Currently, we've got Jake and Josh, who are both on 8. We've got Georgie on 7, and Ant on 6, and there's only a couple of podcasts left till the end of the season, so do you reckon you can force your way into a top position?
I hope so. I'll be happy just to not make a mug of myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone says when they come on. Well, let's see how you get on. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, well, best of luck. So, your time starts now. If you add the squad numbers of Chaplin and Rose together, what do you get?
23.
Who scored the goal against Burnley to promote Pompey in 2003?
Matty Taylor.
Which club is David Ford on loan from?
Millwall.
Pompey beat Notts County 3-1 on Saturday, but what was the score when they played them at Fratton Park?
We lost 2-1.
Which team did Nicky Kabamba make his debut against?
Stevenage.
Which was the first team relegated from the Championship this season?
Rotherham.
True or false, Pompey haven't lost to any of the sides currently in the bottom 3?
True.
Which Pompey player has the most league appearances this season?
David Ford.
True or false, Paul Cook won the League 2 and League 1 titles with Chesterfield? That's your minute, but you can answer it.
False.
Okay, so well done there. I think you did really well, actually. Let's have a quick look at your scores. So you got 8 out of 10, well, possible 10. Only had a chance to read you 9, but you got 8. Joint top. How do you feel?
Oh, okay. I'm happy with that, to be fair.
Yeah, I think you did really well. The one you got wrong was who scored the goal against Burnley to promote Pompey. So well done. Yep, you got a good solid 8. So that puts you joint top of the leader table with Jake and Josh. So well done there.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So good job. Horrendous. So let's have a chat about the game on Monday then. So you went, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you find it? Enjoy it?
No, worst game of the season. No.
How do you think we actually played?
First half it wasn't great, but second half we played well enough.
Yeah, I think we did really well, didn't we?
I wasn't paying too much attention, to be honest with you. It was more just limbs, where I was anyway.
Yeah, it's quite a funny game, wasn't it? Because when it gets to those sort of matches where, you know, you can go up or go down potentially, then you don't really pay that much attention to the performance, do you? You find yourself just, you know, stuck on actually looking at. I mean, I spent a lot of time on my phone looking at other results. So what do you think Cook should do for the rest of the season? Do you think he should rotate the squad a bit, or do you think he should just pick the strongest side possible?
I don't really care now, to be honest with you. I mean, we're up. Just a party, isn't it? I mean, I'd like to see Nicky Kabamba get some more game time and Naismith back in his natural position.
Okay, out wide.
Yeah. In the left attacking mid-roll, swapping about with the 3.
Yeah,
like interchanging.
I'd like to see him. Not really Naismith, I'm not too bothered about him, but I'd like to see the likes of Kabamba get a bit more game time now we got it.
And Jamal Lowe.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be good to see some more of Lowe. He deserves some game time. Okay, Chris, well, thanks for taking part in the quiz. And, yeah, let's hope that we can get a couple more wins. And I'd love to finish above Plymouth.
Oh, yeah, I'd love that. Just
that was top off the season.
Nod them right off, yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today, Chris. I'll catch you later.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Cool.
Bye.
Been good to be on. Cheers. Bye.
The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv. The Pompey Quiz with Sam and Chiv.
So unlucky to Chris, who was 1 point away from getting that top spot all to himself. We've got 1 quiz remaining for the rest of the season, so if you want a chance to get in touch at Pompey Memes on Twitter, Pompey Memes on Facebook, for your chance to be in with a shout. We had a game at the weekend. Cambridge United came to Fratton Park. Let's see how we got on.
Pompey with the captain Doyle to Bora in the centre circle, 0-0 here on Pompey Live, feeding Cal Naismith, eases it out to the left hand side. Here's Ender Stevens bombing forward from left back, low cross to Baker, shots for Pompey, and there is the opening goal of the afternoon. It's come after 20 minutes, and it's the time to get the party started.
It's a
Good interception there from Mendes. Driving forward up towards the halfway line. Cal Naismith's free if he can find him. Does so with his left foot. Good control that from Pompey's talisman. Then it's back to Stevens. Again, good flying move from Pompey to Baker at the far post. Back across, goal to Kabamba! Oh, what a goal that would have been. And Kabamba's header was wide. Who might fancy his chances of a shot. Liam O'Neill's there. Down goes Abora. Won't win a free kick for that. Or does he? Yes, he does. Oh, we all know what we want to happen next. Here comes Naismith. Strikes up left-footed. Oh, what a goal! Brilliant stuff! A simply sublime strike from Cal Naismith. Stands over the ball. Important moments for Portsmouth Football Club. They lead 2-1. Here comes Berry with the shot, and it's saved by Ford, and it was going in under the crossbar to the keeper's left with victory here this afternoon. And there is the final whistle. That is the final play of the afternoon. Pompey have won, and now the party can really get started.
So following that 2-1 victory against Cambridge at Fratton Park, Pompey is still in the title race. Sam, we going to do it?
I can't see why not, although it is unlikely. And looking at the fixture list, Plymouth, I think, have got the easiest run out of the lot, because Doncaster are playing Hartlepool, who are obviously in the relegation battle, but they've also got Exeter, who are still trying to secure that promotion place. Let's just enjoy it. Either way, if we win it, that's fantastic. We'd only be the 5th team to win all 4 divisions, which is a pretty impressive feat, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm not fussed either way. I'm really not fussed either way. I just want to enjoy the last 2 games. I can't wait for Cheltenham. I don't want to hurry up and get the Mansfield game out of the way, but I just can't wait to get on that Fratton Park pitch and then go to the pub afterwards, soak up the atmosphere. I'm sure we're going to be mingling with the players throughout that evening. I'm not fussed about the title.
No, I'm with you. I'm not fussed about it either. I think that you've got to say that Doncaster, yeah, they've got one easy game, one not so easy game. So have we. Plymouth have got 2 relatively simple games. So I'm not really bothered. I'd like to finish above Plymouth if possible, because that would be quite funny. But I'm not too bothered about the title. We've done what we set out to do. We set out to get promotion. We've done that. Anything now is a bonus. And like you, I'm quite looking forward to the games coming up. We're going to preview Mansfield later. But yeah, I'm not really too bothered if we win or not.
It was a really nice sight to see Kabamba starting and Stanley Obora, because he did come on against Notts County, but he came on just after the 3rd goal. I don't remember seeing him touch the ball. I was being carried amongst all the fans after that 3rd goal. So it was so nice to actually see both of them on the pitch. And Stanley Obora, our man in the match, I think a lot of people's man in the match, he was quality.
Yeah, very, very good. And we've been hearing things, haven't we, all season, that Cook highly rates him and that he's one for the future. And you can be a bit sceptical. Last week we did our deal or no deal, didn't we, with the new deals. And we both said probably not for Stanley Obora, but leave it up to Cook. Because we hadn't seen him play, to be fair to us, though. But having seen him play, and he can't be match fit because he hasn't had the minutes on the pitch, but he just looked very, very good. Technically, very, very good, very good. Held onto the ball. He was a real... How many free kicks did he win?
So many. Well, he won the free kick that Naismith actually scored from.
Well, that's it. They couldn't get the ball off him. Once he had the ball, they couldn't get it off him. They had to foul him. He won loads of free kicks. His vision is good. He keeps the ball moving quickly, which is sometimes possibly a criticism of Doyle. He doesn't keep the ball moving that quickly. Linganzi is slower than that. Rose and Abora seem to give us the quicker option of getting the ball forward. I'm really excited, having seen him play on Saturday. I'm now really excited to see what he can offer us next year. I think there's potential for him and Rose to be our starting 2 central midfielders next year.
That would be brilliant. The only issue is, and a friend brought this problem, that there would be obviously the lack of physicality. There wouldn't be that much height in the middle. But technically, those 2, they'd be absolutely everywhere in that middle of the park.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a slight concern. You wouldn't have the physicality you have in there. Linganzi tends to stay on his feet, but Doyle is a physical presence in there, often reverting to like the centre-back role. I'm not sure those 2 are going to bring that. They are technically good quality central midfielders. That's something for Cook to work out, isn't it? But it's exciting. I really hope he signs the new deal now and we keep him at least in the squad for next season.
I would love both him and Rose to be starting next season. And anyway, as we've seen in the legitimate newspaper that is the Sun, Linganzi's obviously off to Barnet.
With Evans.
Yeah, with Gareth Evans. So we've got to say goodbye to Gaz. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Who'd want to go to Barnet? Even the fans don't want to go to Barnet.
You know what Sun do? They see the players that are out of contract, they pick a random team in that league and then they pair them together. A load of shit.
What I did notice, however, is that the players were sliding about all over the place. A lot of people saying Kabamba didn't really play that well. I disagree. I think he did play very well. I just think at times the pitch let him down in the key areas, like it did with quite a few players actually. But they watered the pitch too much, in my opinion. They've done that numerous times this season. And Anthony, who gets in touch with us a lot, says that, because I think he's in the South Stand, says that Cook was feeling the turf in front of him and saying it's not wet enough.
Yeah, it's definitely a Cook guidance. He's said it in the past, hasn't he? He's hinted to it in interviews that he gets the pitch watered.
Because it creates more goalkeeping errors. But I thought Saturday it was actually, Watmore slipped up and gave away that foul. That was never a foul. I can't remember if that was for the goal itself, where he slipped up, the ball bounced in front of him, he managed to head the ball, and then the player tripped up and the ref gave a free kick.
Apparently, that is a free kick. If you put your head down and endanger yourself or another player, it's a free kick. That got brought up on Express FM.
Well, hands up, what a silly rule that is.
We thought it was a bit harsh, didn't we? He did really well to get to it.
But he's done really well to recover from it.
No, there did seem to be a lot of players slipping, which was more so than normal, and it was a bit frustrating at times. But, you know, we won the game, we're still in the title hunt. So looking forward to next season then, you put out some polls earlier, didn't you?
I did, I put out some polls asking you what you guys would rather do for an away day. So we'll start with who could still come up from League Two. I put out a poll: Luton, Blackpool, Exeter, Stevenage. Obviously it could be another team, depending on the way that the playoffs worked. And as of Monday evening, 7 o'clock, Blackpool was in the lead with 52%, and I think a lot of people are probably going for that because they've been robbed of their weekend away in Blackpool this season due to EFL randomly putting it on a Tuesday. I mean, it's not exactly a local game, so that was a bit harsh.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Then coming down from League One, going into League Two, so it's the relegation scrap, Port Vale, Gillingham, Bury, Shrewsbury. Gillingham are on 50%. I would have said Gillingham as well, purely because it's the closest one to us. Although somebody did get in touch and say actually that's probably the worst away day they've done in the past. The away end's held up by scaffolding and there's no roof on it. I know there's no roof, but any thoughts on those ones? Not fussed?
No. I mean,
Don't
I've
fancy going to
done
Bury?
Port Vale already.
That's Stoke, isn't
I did
it?
Port Vale many years ago, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not great. None of them are great, really.
No, they're not. They don't exactly appeal. But the only reason, as I say, Gillingham, for me, is because it's Kent. It's not too far. It's
easy
about,
to get
probably
to,
about 2 hours.
Come on, give me some more excitement. What else?
Okay, so the next ones up, we have got the teams that are fighting for promotion from League One up to the Championship. So these are the teams that are going to miss out. Bolton, Fleetwood, Scunthorpe and Bradford. Bradford is just ahead of Bolton, 39%, Bolton 38%. They're big clubs, that's probably the reason why they're up there. Bolton are looking more likely to go up than any of the others. Fleetwood, you may not know. I mean, Chiv, you do, because I've been banging on about it. It's only a few miles up the road from Blackpool. In fact, there is a tram in Blackpool that takes you to Fleetwood, so we could have 2 weekends away in Blackpool. Why aren't you wowed?
Are you joking?
Why aren't you wowed?
You really think my missus is going to let me go away for 2 weekends in Blackpool with you?
Family vacation,
It's not
and then
happening.
when we get there, they can go to the fun fair and we'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, you run that by her. Bolton would be nice. Nice stadium. Reebok.
Yeah, I think they
I'd
don't
like
have.
to go that.
Yeah, I have never done the Reebok before. I think, is it still called the Reebok?
I'm not sure. I'd like to go there though. Bradford done before, did it in the promotion season. I think maybe that's why people are voting for that. A bit of nostalgia. It's a nice stadium.
But they get good crowds as well. I mean, they get better crowds than probably most of those. Like, even though the Macron or the Reebok, whatever it's called, probably holds more.
Well, I saw on Twitter, on Bradford doing really, really cheap season tickets next year. So they've had a massive influx of sales.
Which is good, because it's going to create, I think that will bring more people that are more likely to generate a better atmosphere, rather than people that are going to pay thousands of pounds to sit there in their suits and watch a game.
Okay. Who else then? Who else could we beat?
So coming down from the Championship, we've got Wigan, Blackburn, Birmingham and Forest. Birmingham obviously at the moment under the management of Twitchy. Forest are winning 48% in that poll. Massive club. I'd love to go to Forest. Obviously Nottingham holds good memories now. It never used to after we were relegated at the Forest ground recently. Who would you like out of those lot?
They're all pretty decent. They've all got nice grounds. Obviously Birmingham, they might still be managed by Twitchy McBribeson, but don't know. Forest would... Got a look at Forest, didn't we, when we were at Notts County, because they're so
You
near.
can see it from the stand. If you're in a certain part of the stand, you can actually see the Forest ground.
There, yeah. It looked really nice. I'd love to go to Forest. Out of all those, yeah, Forest, please.
For me, it'll be Birmingham or Forest. I've been to Blackburn, I've been to Wigan. Blackburn, obviously, the ownership issues at the moment. They're not going to have that many fans there. Wigan never have any fans anyway. So I'm happy with either Birmingham or Forest. 3 hours away, not too bad.
Either way, it looks good for next season, doesn't it? We've definitely got some nice new grounds to look forward to. I mean, we've done some of them before, and I'll plummet through the leagues. We've been to a few of them before, but still, I think looking forward to the likes of Forest instead of Luton or Exeter. No disrespect to those clubs, I do like the lower leagues.
I
But
hate Luton.
It is just nice to go to a nice stadium like Forest, especially.
And anyone that has voted Luton, I'm guessing you're doing that because of the location. It might be near to you, because I can't understand why anyone would want to go to Luton, especially if you've already been. The worst ground I've ever been to.
I should think Luton are going to come up in our alternative end of season awards next
Coming
podcast.
up in the next podcast. So, let's have a little look at the past fortnight at Fratton. Pompey registered their highest attendance of the season against Plymouth, which was 18,625.
The Pompey Trust announced a voting structure for the proposed takeover.
Michael Eisner will meet shareholders at the Guildhall in the evening of Thursday the 4th of May.
Enda Stevens and Christian Burgess both made the PFA Sky Bet League 2 Team of the Year.
Enda Stevens has also been nominated for the Match of the Day magazine Player of the Season award for League 2.
Havant and Waterlooville have gained promotion from the Conference South.
And Pompey chairman Ian McInnes has announced that he will be stepping down from his role at the end of the season. That concludes a fortnight at Fratton.
Dinlo of the week.
So first and foremost, an honourable mention to a local political party in Portsmouth, who this week have decided to take all the bragging rights for the fact that they helped save the club all those years ago, 4 years ago, despite it being a full council agreement. So I'm not going to name the party, but would you like to indulge us? Who are the many Dinlos of the week? Even after promotion, they're still about.
So, Dinlo of the week, it's not an individual person again. We've had to go for a collective group of stupidity, and it is the Cookout Brigade. So this season, throughout the season, I mean, it's gone quiet in recent months, but Cook's had a lot of negativity to deal with this year. And it even went up to this week. We're hearing stories that he had to leave the Crook due to abuse from two arseholes who gave him abuse about playing two up front.
After the Plymouth game, this is after the game on the Friday when we were 3 points away from being promoted, people actually got aggressive to him in the pub opposite the road from where his football club is.
Absolutely ridiculous. And I just know that if we have any sort of wobble next year, they're going to be straight back. And I'm sick of it.
They're going to be out pre-season. When we draw a game against an Irish team, when Connor Chaplin gets sold, they're going to be out. They're going to be calling for his heads.
Well, they're well worthy of Dinlo of the week. Those two won it for them this week. Those two idiots in the pub. But there's been plenty of them on social media. I've seen some on Facebook, still despite the promotion, saying that Cook needs to go at the end of the year. Astonishing.
We hope you enjoyed our retweets out after we got promoted. Hope you saw all of those, all the Cookout tweets. They weren't exactly hard to find. So we've got one status that we'd just like to read on Facebook, which was Brian Donald, who posted on the Pompey fans page.
He did, yep. and he's been reminded of it every 5 minutes now. So a few months ago he posted the following. I've said from the start of the season that Cook is as useful as tits on a fish, and he won't get us promoted. I'd like to say that if, and it's a big if, we get promoted, I will run bollock naked to the centre circle at half time on the last game of the season and do 10 star jumps, then climb on top of my flying pig and write sorry Cookie in the sky.
So we've got Mansfield this weekend, but then the last home game of the season is at Cheltenham. So Brian, we look forward. Say that it's a bit weird if I say we look forward to it.
Yeah, I'd say he can wear a thong and he doesn't have to run on the pitch. He can just run down Frogmore Road on an inflatable pig. On an inflatable pig. Right, sorry Cookie on a letter if you want, and then publish that letter onto Facebook. But Brian Donald on Facebook. Brian spelled Bryan. So please go find him, see his comment. We're looking forward to that. If you let us know when you're doing it, we'll film it. We'll get it up on Pompey memes as well.
We'll add some Titanic music to it as well.
That's a good idea. That stuff goes down well.
It does. It's Dinlo of the week.
Dinner of the week.
Okay, so Mansfield away coming up this weekend. The last away game of the season. Our last away game in League 2. They're going for the playoffs. We've got nothing to play. Well, we've got the title to play for potentially. We're going in fancy dress, although I think we might be the only ones.
Yeah, I ran a poll earlier in the week asking people if they were going to be in fancy dress or if they're going to be boring. And I think 90% said no, they're going to be boring. So it looks like it might just be 3 of us in fancy dress. So I'm looking forward to pulling out at the last minute.
I don't care. I'm used to being quite unique.
That's definitely something.
So we're going to be highlighting, giving little hints on our fancy dress through the week via tweets and Snapchat. So keep an eye out for those. And then we'll make our final reveal what our costumes are at the end of the week. Once we tell you what they are, if anyone comes up to me or Sam and reveals themselves, then I'll give you a special shout out in the last podcast, won't we, Sam?
They will if they approach you, not if they approach me. I'll be too busy engaging in ticker tape. Yep, ticker tape. Lots and lots of ticker tape.
It's so antisocial.
On the subject of ticker tape, obviously everyone's back to work this week. Obviously, if you've been off for the Easter holidays for kids or whatever, so if you're commuting, pick up your metros each day, take them into the ground, and obviously rip them up, share it all out. Because the ticker tape at Notts County looked absolutely amazing. Myself personally, I hope it's a very similar lineup to Cambridge United. I hope Kabamba's playing a borer again. Yourself?
I'm happy with that. I wouldn't mind Lowe getting a start over Baker. I think that would be okay. Be good to see Lowe and Kabamba on the field together. I'm not really worried about the result. I think there is a chance we could lose because they need the win and they've had a couple of good results recently. I'm just really looking forward to the away day. I'm looking forward to the drive up, the chat between us in the car, and then getting in our costumes and just having a good laugh. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, the good news is neither of us are driving, so we are going to be on the beers. Although now it's summer, it's going to be on the cider.
You on cider? Not again.
But anyway, remember, bring lots of newspapers, rip it up, share it out, flags. I've bought 10 inflatable balls to be thrown around, although we have seen an article today actually about a Grimsby fan that has been banned because he attacked a steward with an inflatable shark. You can't make it up.
Yeah, that's legit. I saw that. Ridiculous. Well, I've run out of inflatables. I've thrown them all. But you're bringing your balls. We're going to be dressed up. We're going to let you know what we're dressed up as.
Chiv's going to let you know.
If there's any good ones, we'll take pictures of you. If you're anyone else who's dressed up, get some pictures. We might give you a cheeky tweet on memes if you're really well dressed up.
But obviously with the atmosphere the way it's going to be, there's going to be plenty of singing, plenty of jolliness. And obviously that might mean there might be chance for a few new songs, which takes us into our Pompey Songs of Praise.
I can't wait for this. So Sam, a brand new feature for the podcast, Pompey Songs of Praise. Tell me about it.
So after Pompey got promoted at Notts County, we've received loads of tweets about random things, but what we keep receiving is a lot of Pompey fans' new songs for players.
And I think that all stems from the fact that we promoted a new Carl Bennett song, didn't we?
Which is not done very well. But we're going to keep it going.
We got it started. I heard it in the last few games. It started.
That's good. So we've had quite a few. So we're creating a montage of different songs that we're going to put across to you guys to get going at all the away days. So Kyle said to us, please get La 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 Kabamba to the tune of La Bamba going, which obviously a lot of people have wanted to do. I did get back to him and say, look, we're not going to do that one because nobody's got any lyrics for the next bit. However, James Taylor saved the day and he came up with this.
La 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 lo and Kabamba. La 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 lo and Kabamba. They came from the conference to get us promoted. Lo and Kabamba. Lo and Kabamba.
Okay, that was pretty decent. I like that.
What, my singing or the lyrics?
Well, the lyrics, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what else we got?
So, John said to us, why don't you do a song for Connor Chaplin? And I made the point, Connor Chaplin might not be there in the summer, so we'll pass on that one. But he said, okay, what about this song for Christian Burgess? And I didn't recognise the song, so I asked him what the tune or what song it was from, and he said Simon and Garfunkel, Mrs. Robinson.
So here's to you, Christian Burgess. Pompey loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So here's to you, Christian Burgess. You look more like Jesus than you know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Getting better, eh?
I like that. I think a lot of people recognise the song. No matter the age, you're going to recognise the song. You didn't recognise the band, did you? But I don't think anyone would. It depends what age you are. Old fuddy-duddy like me.
And then Ollie also mentioned another song for us for Edna Stevens, who hopefully is going to be here next season. We'll think you might recognise the tune to this one.
Oh, this was a classic. Took me right back to my youth. Let's have a listen.
Saturday night and I like the way you move. Edna Stevens, when he's playing at left back, then Pompey never lose. Edna Stevens. Da 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 da. Edna Stevens.
You like it?
Yeah, I really like that. That's really good. Took me right back to my school disco days.
I'll get as many ciders in me as possible because I'll do these. I'll do these on the dance floor outside when we're celebrating after the last game of the season when we're going out. We're going out. I'll get these going. I'll get these going at the clubs.
I like them. I did like them. However, all the time you were singing those, I felt that there was a hidden gem that we weren't taking advantage of.
All right.
Yeah, this absolute classic. I feel that the song has a real deep meaning and it shows our true love for the man that's been at the spearhead of taking us up. And I think it's an absolute perfect song to show our affection for him and how much we hold him in esteem. So, do you want to have a listen?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here it goes.
Now what starts with the letter C? Cookie starts with C. Let's think of other things that starts with C. Who cares about the other things? C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Oh, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Can you imagine that roaring out from the Fratton end?
Yeah, I can, yeah. It was... cheeseburger cookie.
It's a classic. It's a classic. I guarantee you, Mansfield, that's going to start.
Well, I look forward to you doing that. Where'd you get that one from?
Big thanks to Nagoya Pompey for that idea. I love it. I'm rolling with that. I'm going to start that at Mansfield on Saturday. Huge thanks to everyone, though, who contributed. The amount of tweets we were getting with song ideas, absolutely fantastic. So we might have to do this feature again in the future.
Yeah, I can't wait to humiliate myself again. That was the Pompey Songs of Praise.
Saturday night dancing like the way you move, pretty baby. It's party time and not 1 minute we can lose. Be my baby.
So that concludes our penultimate podcast of the season. Thanks for joining us, and if you don't already, then please give us a follow on Twitter at Pompey Memes. We're also Pompey Memes on Facebook, SoundCloud and YouTube as well. Send us a message on Twitter or Facebook if you want to get involved and be a participant in the last Pompey quiz of the season. Keep an eye on our Twitter feed later this week, and we're going to be revealing what we'll be dressed up at as Mansfield. And don't forget, if you come up and say hi to me, I'm going to give you a shout out on the next podcast. Until then, from myself and Sam, see you next time.
I'm blue, I've been